Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we will practice our listening skill with new story. Let's begin. The Lighthouse Secret. It was a dark and rainy night in the city of Verdant Falls. The kind of night where the rain didn't just fall, it attacked. Detective Mark Hayes, a man who had seen more shadows than sunlight, sat in his small, messy office. The only light came from a single lamp on his desk, illuminating stacks of old case files. Mark was tired. He had been a detective for 20 years, and every day felt heavier than the last. He missed his family, his wife and his son. He had lost them a year ago in a terrible car accident, a pain that was still fresh. His phone rang, its harsh sound cutting through the quiet office. "Hayes," he said, his voice a low growl. "Detective, we have a new case," said Captain Anya Sharma, her voice calm but serious. "The old lighthouse keeper, Mr. Abernathy, is missing. His daughter Clara called it in." Mark sighed, grabbing his coat. "The lighthouse? The one on the cliffs?" "Yes, you know the place. The one they say is haunted," Captain Sharma replied. "Go check it out. I've sent Officer Diaz to meet you there." Mark drove his old car through the rain, the tires splashing in the deep puddles. He thought about the lighthouse. It was a famous landmark, a tall, white tower on the edge of a cliff, with a light that had guided ships for over 100 years. People often told ghost stories about it, saying the spirits of lost sailors roamed the cliffs. Mark didn't believe in ghosts, but he did believe in bad people. When he arrived, Officer Diaz was already there. Diaz was young and new, his bright yellow raincoat a stark contrast to the gray sky.
"The daughter is inside, sir," Diaz said, pointing to the small stone house next to the lighthouse. "She's very worried." They entered the house. It was cozy and filled with books and old paintings of the sea. A young woman with red hair and worried green eyes was waiting for them. This was Clara Abernathy. "Thank you for coming, Detective," Clara said, her voice shaking. "I haven't heard from my father in 2 days. He never leaves without telling me. This is not like him." "When did you last speak to him, Miss Abernathy?" Mark asked, looking around the room. "Tuesday morning. He said he was going to clean the lens in the lighthouse tower. He sounded normal," she replied, twisting her hands. "I've tried calling his phone, but it goes straight to voicemail." Mark walked to the base of the lighthouse tower. The large metal door was locked from the outside. That was strange. If Mr. Abernathy was inside, he couldn't have locked it himself. "Officer Diaz, check for any signs of forced entry. I'll go up." Inside, the air was cold and salty. The spiral stairs creaked with every step. Mark climbed, his flashlight beam dancing on the stone walls. Halfway up, he noticed something on the floor. A single black button, the kind from a coat. He picked it up and put it in a small plastic bag. He continued his climb, his heart beating faster. He reached the top, the lantern room, the place where the giant light bulb shone. The room was empty. There was no sign of Mr. Abernathy. But there was a large old book on a small table. It was the lighthouse logbook. He opened it. The last entry was from 3 days ago, written in Mr. Abernathy's neat handwriting. It said, "The storm is coming. They are watching. I am not alone." Mark felt a chill. The words were unsettling. What did Mr. Abernathy mean? He radioed Officer Diaz. "Anything down there?" "No, sir. No signs of a struggle. But I found something strange. The generator for the light is turned off, and there's a wire cut. The light hasn't been working for 2 days." Mark's mind raced. The light was off. Mr. Abernathy was gone. The locked door, the mysterious button. This wasn't a simple missing person case. This was a crime. He went back down to the house. Clara was still there, sitting on a couch. Did you find anything, Detective? She asked, her eyes full of hope. Miss Abernathy, your father's logbook says they are watching. Do you know what he meant? Mark asked, showing her the book. Clara looked at the words, her face turning pale. My father was very secretive. He often spoke in riddles, but he was worried about a group of people who wanted to build a new road near the cliffs. They wanted to tear down the lighthouse. He refused to sell. Mark's thoughts connected. The missing lighthouse keeper, the broken light, the mysterious group. It all pointed to one thing, a plan to get rid of the lighthouse and the man who protected it. He remembered a man, a city developer, who had been pushing for new projects near the coast. His name was Mr. Blackwood. He remembered the man's expensive coat, the kind that might have a unique button. He called Captain Sharma. Captain, I think I know who we're looking for. It's not a ghost, it's a person. A developer named Blackwood. I need a search warrant for his office and home. On what grounds, Hayes? She asked. Lighthouse logbook, a cut wire, and a black button from a coat found inside the lighthouse. Also, the lighthouse door was locked from the outside. Mr. Abernathy was protecting the lighthouse from developers. Blackwood has the motive. He needs the lighthouse gone to build his new road. Captain Sharma agreed. A search warrant is on its way. Be careful, Mark. Mark and Diaz went to Mr. Blackwood's office. The building was a modern glass tower, a complete contrast to the old lighthouse. They presented the search warrant. Blackwood was in his office, a man with a sharp suit and a cold smile. This is ridiculous, Detective, he said, his voice calm. I have no idea what you're talking about. They began to search. Diaz found a small hidden room. Inside, there were papers with plans for a new coastal road, a road that went straight through the lighthouse's location. And next to the plans was a small bag, the same kind of bag police used for evidence. Inside the bag was a single black button. It was an exact match for the one Mark found at the lighthouse. Mark looked at Blackwood. Why do you have this, Mr. Blackwood? A simple button. His face went pale. He knew he was caught. Mr. Abernathy is not dead. He's alive. We put him on a boat and took him to a small island. We didn't want to hurt him, just keep him away until we could start construction. Mark felt a rush of anger and relief. Mr. Abernathy was alive. Blackwood confessed everything. He and his team planned to disable the light and then fake Mr. Abernathy's disappearance, making people believe he had left on his own, or worse, was a victim of the haunted lighthouse. Within hours, Mr. Abernathy was rescued. He was tired but unharmed. He told Mark that he was happy the lighthouse was safe. Mark felt a sense of satisfaction he hadn't felt in a long time. The case was closed. It wasn't about a ghost, it was about greed. And once again, a detective's hard work and careful observation had saved the day. The rainy night was a little less dark, and the future of Verdant Falls was a little brighter.
Now try to answer the 4 questions to test your understanding. What was the main reason Detective Mark Hayes was called to the lighthouse? What did the last entry in Mr. Abernathy's logbook say? What 2 pieces of evidence did Detective Hayes find that led him to suspect Mr. Blackwood? Why did Mr. Blackwood want to get rid of Mr. Abernathy and the lighthouse?